Hi everybody, people just starting to join. So one of the interesting things is what I frequently get asked is about the Calvert Sporting Grouse Layout and what we actually do and how we make it work and why is it so unique. So I thought I'd show you a little bit behind the scenes, so to speak. So one of the first things that we do, as you can see, we actually use quite a few manual traps. This is something that always surprises everybody, but the great thing about manuals is, as you can see, we've got 4 manuals here, which means we can throw multiple targets. One of the things that I very quickly learned in all my grouse lessons is most people can deal with 1 target, lots of people can deal with 2 targets, but when you actually get to 4s and 5s or 10s or all that sort of thing, just like you would on a grouse day, then that's when people start to kind of really struggle. So having multiple targets in the air is something that you really want to try and concentrate on. So more importantly, what we can throw from here, we can throw singles, doubles. You can see there's a single arm bowman there that can throw something really quick. We actually use rabbit clays, would you believe, because they go particularly slowly. Okay, just like almost a pitching grouse. We use battus, so we can put multiple targets together. So that's the kind of heart of the thing. Now obviously this is built so that when we're using somebody to trap, okay, basically if you look down the hill, then you'll see that actually it's one of those things where you actually can't see the grouse butts at the moment. Okay, the next thing, and probably one of the things that we're kind of semi-famous for, is this is a trailer that Promatic built especially for me. Okay, so this trailer throws a pack of 4, and this was one of the really early kind of ones that actually the whole 4 move together, and they're all super sportive middies. So again, that allows us to literally throw a pack of 4 at people with particular pace. Moving round, we have a cherry picker with another ABT on it. You can see over to the one side, another couple of ABTs over there. Again, in case people are wondering what ABT stands for, automatic ball trap, that allows us to actually alter the height and the kind of angle of each target, so we can literally throw to whatever we want to throw to. Just in the bottom here, a couple of little standard targets, because we want not only quick stuff, but we want some really slow stuff. It's often the slow stuff that's missed. And then right down the bottom, I don't know if you can see, is the bit where we actually do the whole going away stuff. So let's wander over the hill. We're going to start, and we've literally set the grouse layout up. We're just going to start and tweak it. And how we run it normally, we run it so I shoot double guns all the time. Okay, and we basically run a trapper, and I'm communicated with a trapper. You won't be able to hear him because he's in my ear, but I'll be able to talk to him. So I don't know if you can see the grouse butts as we go down. Okay, and that allows us to, for want of a better word, replicate as close to a grouse mow as we can. As I touched on earlier, one of the things that I discovered in teaching grouse to lots of different people is you need to make it as lifelike as possible. And one of the things that we've got here, as you can see, is lots of open space. One of the things that I discovered when I was working on a shooting ground is most shooting grounds can only shoot in front, where here you can actually shoot in front and behind. You've got a proper line of grouse butts, so safety rules apply. Okay, so into our grouse butt. Okay, so we're going to start off on the left and just have a little look at the targets. You'll hear me talking to Matt, who we've got trapping for us. Matt, can you hear me? Okay, let's just have a look at those targets on the far right, super sporters, if we can, on my call pull. Okay, so you can hopefully see a pair of targets. Actually, what would be really useful is give me a thumbs up, somebody, if you can actually see the targets coming. I don't know whether you can see them coming or not. Okay, Matt, one of those just wants to go a fraction further out, just a little bit too close in. Just send another pair. Okay, so those are they're perfect, Matt, absolutely perfect. So those are 2 targets that I like to use in particular. You can see there's a pair, they're coming from a long way. Because they're coming from a long way, what that actually allows me to do, it allows me to encourage people to shoot them further and further out. Just once more as well, if you can, Matt, please. Okay, so literally I can practice with people, as you can see. Now, as you saw, that other one was just a fraction too close in. Okay, so I'll get Matt to just push that out in a minute. Matt, let's move along and we'll have a look at the ABT if we can next. Then we're going to move in to where the cherry picker is, and you'll hear me talking about the cherry picker. The reason I like to use a cherry picker, and at the moment it's on the floor, but often if I get some of my Scottish clients coming, they're going to want to shoot grouse. You know, they tend to see grouse that are higher. Okay, so as a result of that, people often say, well, why have a cherry picker on a grouse layout? But if you've got a target that you want that's particularly high, okay, so some of the Scottish Angus Glens and all them sorts of things, you do shoot what I would call proper driven grouse, which are coming at you quite high. Matt, just send us a target if you can. Pull. Okay, and again, pull. Okay, perfect. Okay, coming right down in front of us. Just pick that trap up a little bit for me, Matt. It's a little bit low at the minute. Okay, what I'm looking for here is obviously I'm trying to make stuff safe as well. There you go. Okay, and again, Matt, if you can. Perfect. Okay, a little bit high, so we'll make that a little bit lower in a minute, Matt, but that's pretty cool. Okay, Matt, let's move around a little bit if we can. Let's have a look at the standards that we've got. Let's just have a little look at those that are thrown from the Harrier if we can. On my call, Matt, pull. And again, Matt, if you can, looking good. Pull. I have no idea whether you're able to see this or not, guys, actually, because the pretty difficult to follow a target with a camera. But give me a wave if you can see it. Just once more, Matt, if you can, pull. Okay. And again, what you'll see here, okay, even though you wouldn't have been able to shoot that target, it's a little bit low, but actually the majority of stuff you can shoot in front or you can shoot behind, okay. Matt, let's have a little look at the grouse trailer if we can, see what that's looking like on my call, pull. I don't know if you could hear that on the camera, but you can actually get the general gist. Matt, just throw 2 or 3 fours at me if you can, please, pull. Okay, and again, okay, hopefully you can see them coming. Now they are a fraction high at the moment, we'll probably make them a fraction lower. One of the things I love about the grouse trail is we can actually run a stream of grouse off it. So what I'm going to ask Matt to do is send us a stream of grouse, which is what I would call 10-15 birds in the air. And people often, when you get a lot of grouse coming at you, they come in a stream rather than in a pack. So if I just send you, Matt, just send me a stream of grouse if you can, please, on my call. Pull. Okay, so there's 2, 3, 4. You can see how quickly those targets are coming. Okay. And obviously what I'm using that for, I'm using that to teach people how to deal with lots of grouse coming at you. Now actually those are set a little bit high at the moment, so we're going to make them a little bit lower as we go. Okay, so what we're going to do now is, why don't we wander along and have a look at just open up. We'll have a look at a few different targets that we've got. Actually, Matt, just before we leave, could you send me a pair from you, just straight at us? Sorry, I just realised that actually we hadn't looked at any manual stuff that we've got. Okay, so you see them going over. Just send 3 or 4 pairs randomly if you can, Matt, all over the place. Okay, you can see. Okay, and I can make that into a 2, into a 4, even into a 6. I can mate it up with a trailer so I can put 10 targets in the air if we need to. Okay, that's perfect, Matt. I'm just going to move along to butt number 1. And we'll have a quick look at bits and bobs over there. We'll have a look at the other standard target. So as you can see, safety sticks, as I said, rules apply. So what you can do is you can shoot in front or shoot behind. Okay. Proper size grouse butt. Often people get used to loading in what I would call much bigger grouse butts. So if you go to lots of the shooting grounds, unfortunately have the bigger grouse butts, and that gives you a feeling of your safety starts to fall apart because you're not used to tight sticks and all that sort of stuff. But as you can see, these are proper size grouse butts, been in 4 or 5 years now. Okay, so a slight different view. Matt, let's have a look at the crossing harrier if we can. Pull. Broke, just send that again. Okay, there we go. Hopefully everybody can see that. Again, throws a couple, Matt, so we can get a good look at that. Okay, everybody can see that. Perfect. Okay, so what else have we got? So Matt, just Let's have a little look at a pair from you. Let's just show people what we can do. Send me a pair when you're ready. Oh, try not to kill me. This is the reason we check everything, because we end up in a situation where, you know, they change literally every day depending on the wind conditions. You could see I could have shot that in front or behind. Just push them, and there we go. There's another pair coming in. Just throw me a rabbit clear then, Matt, just to give them something different. Okay. So the interesting thing, I actually like using rabbit clays quite a lot, because they actually are basically going faster than they look, and they're dead easy to miss. They look big, but they're not actually as big as you think they are. Okay, just down again, Matt, if you can. Pull. He's probably run out. Oh, there we go. You can see they curl a bit because they're quite big as well. Quite a couple coming at us. Okay, perfect. Okay, so what we're going to do now, we're going to have a wander down to the, could be shot in front or behind. We have a little area where we can properly tweak kind of shooting in front and shooting behind. So I'm going to wander down to the going away bit now. Okay. This is where I find that my filming is absolutely appalling, and I've got none of these targets on the screen. But anyway. Anybody want to give me a thumbs up if they can actually see any of these targets on the screen? Okay. Nobody gives me a thumbs up. That's reassuring, guys. Okay, thanks, Will. Somebody's paying attention. Okay, so where I think lots of people often go wrong with grouse shooting is they forget how many grouse they actually end up shooting out the back. So I would quote a figure somewhere between 35 and 40% of your grouse will be shot out the back. Yet there's so many people who have no idea how to shoot grouse out the back. Okay, so what we've got here, two little traps. You can see safety sticks set up, little hurdle. Now this is going to be quite hard because you're going to see the target coming, and it's coming quite quickly, so I don't think I'm going to be able to follow it, but we'll do our best. Matt, if you just keep sending a steady stream of the target that you're on at the moment. Let's have a quick look and pull. Okay, so you can see it coming past. I'll go back. So here's the idea. The idea is that literally what I do, see it drop in there. That's perfect, thanks Matt. What I can do, I can start the client off facing this way, looking over his shoulder. If he's a right-hander, that's the easy one. Okay, literally shoot it out the back. As he becomes more and more proficient, then obviously what I can do, I can literally bring him back so he's turning on the target. He's seeing it out front, up over his sticks, down out the back. Okay, just send me the other target, Matt, just so we get a quick look. Okay, broke, and again. Okay, you can see it coming. These are probably the hardest to film. Okay, hopefully you get the general gist. Okay, that'll do, Matt, that's perfect. So that was a quick whistle stop tour of the Calvert Sporting Grouse Layout. As you can see, hopefully there's a bit there for everybody. As I say, it is a purpose-built facility specifically for our grouse stuff. And what I tend to do is double guns, so we shoot it with double guns. Again, it's very easy to practice with a single gun, and to be honest with you, clients will shoot anywhere between, you know, 250 to 500 shells. They'll come for, all my sessions are 2 hours. Okay, we actually allow you 2.5, a little bit of breathing space. But as I say, that's what people tend to do. But it's trying to make things as lifelike as possible. Obviously, you can't get everything lifelike, okay? Because I can't get targets coming straight at you, but we do our best. Thank you everybody much for tuning in. Over and out.